Hello, welcome. This is Post This Morning. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. Glad to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakman.
And I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Okay, let's get on with the show. Talk about the one you are talking about. Football is back. The English Premier League got us talking. And Liverpool, they sent a powerful statement. Cecilia, they said, we won the title and we want to keep it again. They defeated Chelsea 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. And a lot of persons are calling the name Kepa.
Of course, it's the corporate this time around. Kepa just being Kepa, decided to do what he does best, and all the things he did last season. It was more like a self-destruct button for Chelsea. It was a good performance, no doubt.
I think so.
But then with Kepa, and of course Christensen decided to be, on that day, his indiscretion was kind of missing, and that's how Liverpool took advantage of those two mistakes, and they powered on to victory. Also on the program, yes, there is a new winner for the US Open. Now, this man has never won a majors before. He's a physics major, but this time around, he's a golf major. I'm talking about Branson DeChambeau. He head on to 6 strokes over Wolf. That's how he was able to win the US Open in the course that has been described as the toughest in the history of the tournament. The winged foot is in New York, and usually it's always difficult for the Americans to win here. So he's the second American to be able to win on this course. Okay, and straight to the NBA. Of course, the Lakers were just on the verge of losing it after Nikola Jokic, of course, the beast right now, the biggest and the best big man in the NBA right now. You can argue that anyway. Yeah. But then Anthony Davis had other ideas. He got that 9-minute three-pointer. And of course, Frank Vogel, talking about the coach of Lakers, has said that that kind of shot is the type that, well, Kobe Bryant would take. And if you check the jersey they were wearing on the night, of course, it's that Mamba jersey.
That's right, the Mamba mentality pushing the Lakers all the way. And Kobe's presence was right there. Yeah. A lot of followers of basketball, particularly the NBA, they will be rooting for the Lakers to win it. And we all know why. It's because of Kobe. But what a performance, as you said. Shout out to Denver Nuggets. This is as far as they can come, if you ask me. For me, because you know how it is before they got to this stage.
Yes, of course.
It was a fight. It was a push, and against the LA Lakers, this was really close.
It was close.
But the best team still won. And that's character right there, So
into the end.
Again, shout out to the Denver Nuggets. They put up a good fight, but it's now 2-0, Cecilia. I think any hope for them?
Yeah, I think there is hope. If you check the way the Denver Nuggets played, usually, they were down by 16 points going into that third quarter, but somehow they just have a way of fighting back. Yeah. And they did that. So on the verge, they were just leading by, I think it was 103 and 102. And of course, when you have someone like Anthony Davis. I mean, I think Rajon Rondo was the one who gave him the pass. I mean, the question I was asking him, how did you connect with the guy knowing that he was going to get that shot? And Anthony Davis said he's usually not in that position to make such big shots. And he got a chance and he did not miss it. So he gave them that 3-point shot victory. And of course, they were able to win
strategic
it.
Move by the LA Lakers, Cecilia. And look, when you have anybody, making a shot at the buzzer, test that person. Test that player.
I mean, when you're trailing 103, 102, like they were trailing by 1 point. They needed just that 3-point shot.
Look at that
and there was someone, just look at it, and Jokic, the big man, was right in front of him. But somehow he was able to score, confident enough to be able to take that shot. Just look at it again.
Jokic, go to Bam Adebayo for some lessons on how to block. Go get some lessons from the Nigerian. But fantastic performance, phenomenal display by Anthony Davis, and that's what you need. Sometimes in a team, no matter how good you are, you must have somebody that can step up for that big moment, and that's what Anthony Davis did.
And that's what he did. Yeah. That's what he did. And after the game, and of course, Rajon Rondo was asked the question, how did you, manage to get that shot through to him for him to be able to make that that particular, game-winning buzzer? And that's his reaction. Yeah, he gave it to him and he did the rest. When you have a player you can rely on, you just have to take the shot and see if he's going to make it.
That's what it is.
I mean,
so it's teamwork simplified.
Yeah.
They all know themselves. And, around that court, when we're watching the Michael Jordan story, what's it again? He was saying a lot of things about them being brothers that
the chemistry.
where this person is supposed to be, and then have the moment where it's going to, give you that unthinkable performance. I think that's what happened last night with the Lakers, because on a good day, the Denver Nuggets, as we said, deserve to get something out of that game. But hey, Anthony Davis and that guy right there turn it around, and that's it.
They just have to tell the Nuggets that not every time you can really come back, because Lakers were ready to compete. And that's what the Clippers didn't do in the last game. But Lakers were ready to compete, and they competed till the dying minute. And Michael Porter Jr. has been reacting to how devastating it is for them to have lost in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, on the day, he had a good performance. I think he had close to 19 points for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But somehow it just wasn't enough. Even Nikola Jokic, the big man, he had 30 points on the night. Still wasn't enough. Because when you have LeBron James and, of course, Anthony Davis combining for some spectacular points and numbers, and all the players coming to the party, that's what you get.
I think we saw good teamwork displaying from both sides, but as we said, the team with character won. Because when it comes to when it matters most, whoever wants it gets it. Sad for Nikola Jokic, 30 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, and then you're on the losing side. You go back and watch it, and it's so painful,
It's painful.
But let's see how they can pick themselves back up. All through the playoffs, they've been fighting, the Denver Nuggets. So another question on their, ability to fight. Just fight till the end. If you're close to the...
They were down by 16 points, and they closed the game up. They were a point up when Anthony Davis made that, kind of Hail Mary
But he made the series 2-0, and that's why I'm saying that. Nobody will remember that one now. It's 2-0, and so it's the reminder for the Nuggets is pick yourself back up, fight till the end. Yes, a lot of the odds don't favor them. The Lakers are tipped to go to the main finals, but let's see. It's sports where impossible is nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Let's see. Award-winning sports-loving channels, television. We're broadcasting live from our sports center in Lagos, Nigeria. We've been taking a look at what's going down in our world of sports. We talked about the NBA. Cecilia told you those amazing figures that came out of that one between the LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. It wasn't so good of an experience for the Nuggets, but hey, they'll pick themselves back up. They lose. They are down 2-0 in the series now. Anthony Davis with the final moment. So if you love the NBA, let's talk about that one also. What do you think? Any hope? That's what I asked Cecilia. Any hope for the Nuggets in the playoffs? Talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports. We also talked about what's going on in golf, the U.S. Open. It's Bryson DeChambeau with his first major trophy, and he's hoping that will propel him to do much more in his career. We also talked about the Italian Open. It's going to be Schwarzman going against Novak Djokovic in the final. We also talked about the women's category also. So much now going down in our world of sports. We're part of the discussion as regards everything that we have talked about. Let's also invite fans of Chelsea, fans of Manchester United. Guys, look, I stand in solidarity with these clubs, but with football, where anything can happen, Liverpool, by the way, made a powerful statement of intent that, look, guys, we are not here to play. They defeated Chelsea 2-0. But Chelsea fans, they're asking Lampard a lot of questions. So, Chelsea fans, get in here. Let's talk about that one. How can Lampard turn it around? And there were some big spendings, right? So what's going on with the team? Let's talk about that one on Twitter, channels_sports. Hey, Chelsea fans, let's just talk about it. Let's do it for the love of the game. Also, Leeds United, after a 16-year absence from the league, they are back with a bang. They pushed the champions all the way in their opener, and then they won their second game against Fulham 4-3. We love the story, and they're trying to tell us that they are here to stay in top flight football. So fans, let's do this together on Twitter, channels_sports. Send us an email to sportsthismorning@channelstv.com. I want to hear from you, and I'm going to read your messages, so I keep them coming on the program. Cecilia, let's talk about grassroots football development.
Yes.
Channels Television, we are also setting the pace in that one. But one of the oldest grassroots football competition in the country, you and I know, the Principal's Cup.
Obviously.
And when it wasn't doing so well, we were asking questions because that competition has given us stars, you know.
Course.
A lot of persons that came out of the school system back in the day. I know, let's just say about 2 or 3 that we know. You know, the late Stephen Keshi was from the school system and was part of it. Henry Wosu was part of the...
Samson,
a lot.
Taribo West.
Look at that. So when we abandon such a useful platform, a lot of persons start asking questions. But the good news now is the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, they said, look, we want to revive the National Principals Cup, and we love it. And
that's a good way. And I love the fact that the way they started is to try as much as possible to make Dosu Joseph, that's someone, who won it with Igbobi College there in 1987, thereabout at that time. I mean, he's the ambassador for the Principals Cup. So that's a good way to go. You're looking at the icon, someone who has won, won Olympic gold medal with Nigeria. Remember that Atlanta 96, a gold medalist. And he started from the grassroots level using the Principals Cup as a platform before he was, discovered, went to Juliusberg, of course, before he went to Italy to play his professional football. So you're using that as an icon, as a face for the Principals Cup. So it's going to be the National Principals Cup, and everyone wants to be involved in it. I mean, reviving the sport. The sport minister has always talked about the fact that, look, let's not just focus on elite sports or using sports as a recreation. We want to use sports as a business, grooming talent, and following up with that. Like it used to be where you mentioned Stephen Keshi, and Sunday said these guys, were discovered at the Principals Cup and they went ahead to represent Nigeria and even winning laurels for the country. So that's the way to go, that grassroots project. By the time it's revived, and the fact that, is it going to be this year at all? Yeah,
they're hoping to have it sometime in November, December. And if we get Tony Pemo, who is the chairman of the local organizing committee, will answer some of the questions, because COVID-19 is a major concern right now, Cecilia. So we love the fact that the Principals Cup is coming, but what are those things we need to put in place to ensure safety, And again, we're dealing with young people. We're dealing with people's children, so we must make sure that everything is in place. But it's good that now they're seeing the need to revive the National Principal Cup, and the ministry, they are part of it. In Lagos today, they'll be doing a lot. They'll be unveiling the mascot. They will be doing a lot of activities to let us know that they have the intention of bringing it back in November or December. So it's a good one, Cecilia, and it's beautiful. We have the Channels International Kids Cup for the primary school boys under 13. And now they know that from there, they'll go to secondary school, get busy with the Principals Cup. That's the way to go. And then we have different academies, but that's how to make development and sustain it. Yeah,
that's it. Because, and you remember, wasn't it last week, when FIFA were talking about the fact that, sports has lost so much money, and the relief funds they were giving to different federations was for them to focus on academies and also grassroots sport. Because they know that elite sport, of course, the sponsors will still want to put some money in. But what happened to those that won't have opportunity, having that elitist, so to speak, kind of, awareness where fans can really, where people can actually see these, athletes on a better platform. So that's why they said you need to invest in it, so that at the end of the day, these athletes and these players can really be seen worldwide. And that's why we're happy that the Principals Cup is obviously coming back. And if it's going to be held in December, and of course, we know secondary school students are resuming, so they may just have some time to prepare for that. And what a way it's going to start. Will it be behind closed doors? All COVID-19 protocol obviously will be observed. And maybe at that time, we'll just have maybe 1 or 2 cases in Nigeria. Who knows? 1 or 2 cases. I mean, this is September. You still have a whole of October, by November. We won't be talking so much about it spreading anymore, especially if we have to observe the protocol that's been described.
We can also do it if, as you said, if it drops to a level and then we respect the protocols. Very, very important, because if we disregard the guidelines, particularly those provided by the NCDC and the Ministry of Health, then we will be putting ourselves in serious, serious issues. We'll wait to see, hopefully, Tony Pemo will join us, and then we'll talk more about this. But then again, heartwarming conversation coming from, and now Special Assistant to the President of Sports, Daniel Amokachi, says, look, it is beautiful that we're bringing this back. This is the way way to go. The grassroots, Cecilia, I love it at the grassroots because at that stage it is delicate.
Yeah.
At that stage, these guys can dream, and now that they have Dosu Joseph as an ambassador, who is an Olympic gold medalist, he has stories that he can say to these kids. At the grassroots, you motivate, you inspire. And because it is long-term, you can actually look at a child and give him a 10-year project. And that child will grow up and achieve that if you create the enabling environment.
Just creating and monitoring is another way. I mean, we can't just have, having this particular principal scope. At the end of the day, you won't, have the facilities to really monitor these players and see how they will grow so that they don't get to fall into the hands of the wrong agents and all that. I mean, we've heard stories about so many, agents, just, taking advantage of young, players. I mean, they are gullible and all that, taking advantage of them, signing some very ridiculous contracts abroad. But if the monitoring is there and you have a policy to protect these young players, obviously they will excel.
Sometimes even when you create the right environment, this boy is going nowhere because football is good in his country, and then he stays back
even when he wants to move, he'll make sure he's already 21 at the age where, he's a bit mature.
There you go, and can take his own decisions. So hopefully we'll get an official from the National Principals Corps to talk to us as regards what's going down today in Lagos and what we should be expecting. COVID-19 has caused a lot of disruptions in our world of sports. In Nigeria, for instance, we've not seen football in action since March the 18th. Basketball, I can't remember. Particularly talk about women's basketball. So Cecilia has been trying to understand what some female basketballers are doing to stay busy. If basketball is not working, how do you get creative? So some players of MFM are looking at ways that they can stay busy under COVID-19. We'll put together this report. Let's listen to it. When we'll come back, hopefully we'll have the Principals Cup conversation again. Stay with us.
The last day of the season, these ladies have given their all and now looking forward to the 2020 season. Crave for a regular competitive season that will see teams play more games. Their prayers seem to be answered by the president of the Nigeria Basketball Federation.
Last week, I had my Nigerian Basketball Federation board, executive board meeting. One of the things was we adopted the program for 2020. So it's clear when we're going to start, it's clear what we want to do, it's also clear when we're going to finish. And we keep our fingers. We're going to start in May.
But the goal is yet to be achieved, no thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. No basketball, no problem for MFM players Oko Ukamaka and Bolande Yusuf. These ladies are making good use of the pandemic to also showcase their skills off the court. Ukamaka loves shoemaking and is putting her second love to good use.
Immediately the lockdown, they eased the lockdown, I started coming to my workshop. I come every day. Normally, I don't come every day. I come like 2-3 times in a week. Sometimes I don't even come. But the pandemic made me, like this period, it's made me learn a lot of designs, had time to perfect on my craft, and also had time for my clients as well.
And for her teammate Yusuf, hairstyling is her passion off the court.
I can't just be at home and be sleeping and be waking up, pressing my phone. So just take my phone, Google some hair I don't know how to make, then I'll just try it. I can call, let me just try this thing.
The saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, definitely doesn't apply to these ladies. With the gradual return of sports, they are back training hard and getting ready to compete for a trophy when the league resumes. For them, ultimately, the wait is worth it.
Beautiful, Uko, and of course, Yusuf right there, making good use of their time. And that's what we're talking about, Cecilia. I love that story, you know. It goes to show you the other side of these charms, you know, that you can be creative and make good use of time. And that's a challenge to everyone out there. Don't say because there's COVID-19, you fold your hands and you
I'll
can't
be
do
waiting
anything.
for months, 5 months, you're not doing anything. Beautiful. You know, Ukamaka's story is so beautiful. I'm like, okay, sometimes, you know, ladies, when they want to go into, you know, maybe an outside kind of hustle, so to speak, you wouldn't want to do this.
That is aching
cobbler.
to the men.
Do you understand? You wouldn't want to go into that. You're already playing sports, and people are looking like, okay, why sports and everything? Basketball, of course, which is really good. And then you want to have a side hustle, so to speak. I mean, something else, become an entrepreneur and all that. You're going into subject, or rather a kind of a job that usually people wouldn't want to embrace. Not fashion, not hairstylist, not any other kind of job that will talk about makeup artists and all that, which is really big. But something as a cobbler, as a shoemaker, it's really great for Ukamaka.
Really good. Particularly that these are talented persons who could just say, oh no, because I play basketball.
Yeah, and they're earning good money, the club they're playing for. Even despite the COVID time, the club still continue to pay them their salaries, their allowances and all that, just continue. But they feel, I can't just be idle, not doing anything, especially that time when, stadiums were not even open, no training facilities, nothing. Like, what do? I love doing this, so why not just go back to it and perfect what I already know how to do?
And at this stage, Cecilia, it's a clear reminder to them that there's life after basketball.
Of course.
So now they will just only need to train themselves, get better at it, and they are building a market gradually.
Already.
So, MFM can just, like a grant or intervention fund, let's just use it to support, these ladies for what they're doing. And you never know how far they can go with this career.
Yeah, and the thing is, she still doesn't have her own workshop. She's just working with someone, and she's creating all of this.
I love
Imagine
it.
when she has so much.
I love the story. So we're having a difficult time, getting Tony Pemu on the program, but we will try to get him. Just ask about 1 or 2 questions, because we love it at the grassroots and we want to know what they're doing with the National Principals Cup now that they're trying to revive it. So let's get on with the show now. But when we get at that official, we will go to that conversation. But Cecilia, let's talk boxing now. Talk about Ife Ajagba. He calls himself the one and only, and a big prospect in heavyweight boxing.
Yes.
We love the fact that he's Nigerian.
Yes.
It's now 14 professional fights and 14 victories for Ife Ajagba. Still unbeaten.
Yes.
11 of those wins by KO. He had his fight over the weekend with Jonathan Rice. Jonathan Rice before that had lost 5 fights. Ife gave him the 6th. But a lot of international media, they are describing him as maybe overhyped after he got signed by Top Rank Boxing. They're saying that they didn't see the sort of fight that a fighter like Ife Ajagba should give, and I'm telling them to calm down.
Yes.
Because he was going against a wounded Johnny Rice who needs to make a statement, and the guy was defensive, an orthodox boxer. Ife Ajagba got injured in the fight, but still got the job done. I think he can get better.
I think he can, because he's 26. I mean, you're looking at a player, a fighter who had to come through an injured elbow, and still went on to get the match. I mean, 10 rounds, unanimous decision. So it simply shows that he dominated, the fight at a point. I mean, against a guy who is 33 years old. That's like how many? 5 years?
Yeah, that's over 20 fights in his belt.
Under his belt. So for Ife Ajagba, I mean, knockout right now. I mean, how do you 9 KO? Yeah.
11 KOs.
11 KOs.
14 wins,
That's huge.
And getting signed to Top Rank Boxing is no joke.
Yeah.
And it comes with some sort of pressure. I can understand that if Ajagba was trying to, impress his new employers, but now he's on the big stage. Now he needs to be flamboyant.
Yeah.
Now he needs to do more, For instance, he needs to slow down. He started saying he can give a fight with Anthony Joshua. No, it's not yet time. You need more fights. But it's good to say those things. The heavyweight division is hot now. Everyone is talking. And I'm sure those guys they give him a fight that can test him. But please, not those Anthony Joshua.
He's not even close to. I mean, he needs to go up the ladder to be a challenger for a title.
Maybe we need to see him fight a name that is well known,
yes.
So that in case he doesn't even win it, we can say, well, it's because he lost to maybe Andy Ruiz that also shocked Anthony Joshua. I'll take that kind of defeat, and say if he'll use it to grow. If maybe he's beaten by Dillian White, we'll say yes, Dillian, or Derek Chisora, we'll say yes, these guys have been there, done that with boxing. So let's see how it goes with his career. It's still early days for him, just 14.
Yeah.
What do you do with 14 fights?
Exactly, that's the thing. And love the fact that with him being with top rank promotion and all that, so obviously, as you mentioned, he will get, you know, that top shot at those big boys that you were talking about.
But no pressure, please.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay.
Cecilia, let's go to the English Premier League quickly. So much happened over the weekend. I will see more action today. Which of those really got you talking?
No other than, of course, the game between Chelsea and Liverpool. That's a Super Sunday, the game everyone was waiting for. But let's just take a look at some of the results, of course, from the night. Okay, that's the pictures, you know, the first goal that was scored by Sadio Mane header. Just imagine after you have a Christensen, I mean, that's magic he did. How do you clutch a player, you know, on the field of play with 2 hands? And he was sent up. And then Thiago Alcantara came in. Alcantara came onto the field, and he was able to distribute the passes and everything. And Sadio Mane had opportunity to get that header in the first goal. And the second one, Kepa being Kepa, of course. I mean, I just fluffed that, and Sadio Mane took opportunity and also scored that. Jorginho, they had a penalty, and it was Alcantara also cost that penalty and all. But then Jorginho stepped up. We thought it was going to, like, okay, he has never missed a penalty, right? 9 years played. But this time around, it wasn't a good day for them. He missed that penalty. And, of course, Liverpool, as champions, went on to win 2-0.
I said it delivered a powerful message to everyone out there that, look, we're not here to play. As for Kepa, should we remind our viewers the price tag that it came with to Chelsea?
Please, you can do that.
£71 million.
So he's the most expensive goalkeeper. How many goals has he conceded since he came to Chelsea?
£71 million.
So how many goals has he conceded
I
since he came?
don't know what's going on. There's just something about the mentality of that Chelsea defense. And Kepa, they are going for Rennes goalkeeper Edward Mendy in a £20 million deal. But Lampard keeps saying that, look, Kepa is a #1 goalkeeper. We're standing by him. Look, as a coach, as a manager, you need to say all of those things. But there is no way he will say that he's not bothered about what's going on right there at Chelsea. Okay, Cecilia, let's go on this quick break. When we come back, Leeds United also, they're getting us talking. So when we come back from this break, we'll go to Leeds to talk to a supporter, a strong supporter of Leeds United. Are they back to the Premier League after 16-year absence to stay? He will tell us, so don't go anywhere, stay with us. Welcome back, Sports This Morning on Channels Television. We're talking about the English Premier League. Let's talk about a newly promoted side, Leeds United. They've got a rich tradition with English football. When they got relegated, they stayed in that wilderness for 16 years, and now they are back. Made a good statement in their opening match against Liverpool, where they lost 4-3, but they went on to win their second against Fulham. Let's go to Leeds. Paul Wilson is a strong supporter of Leeds United. Joins us now on the program. Paul, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you doing, guys?
Awesome. Good to have you on the program. And I know you are buzzing with excitement. The lads made you happy yesterday, didn't they?
Say that again, so I didn't quite catch that.
As I'm sure you're buzzing with excitement after Leeds' victory over Fulham. Did they make you happy?
Yeah, we don't do things easy at Leeds United, do we? We like to make it exciting. But yeah, I suppose 3 points in the bag, the first promoted team to get 3 points as well. A fantastic feeling. Good to be back.
Interesting one, because good to be back, but then your first game, it was more like a back and forth kind of game. Although one player was actually outstanding, talking about Patrick Bamford. Everyone has been trying to compare him to Thierry Henry. I mean, he's the star man to really watch out for Leeds United this season. What do you think about Bamford?
Patrick had an indifferent season last season. He got a lot of criticism for missing a lot of chances. But what you've got to admire about him is his strength in character. You know, he doesn't mind criticism. He'll take it. He's great. He's got such a strong mentality, and you know, he's started so well in the Premier League, and just long may it continue. The important thing is that the fans get behind our players, and long may it continue with Patrick. I think he's done really, really well. Great start.
After 16 years of being away from the English Premier League, Leeds United, they are back. Paul, champions of the Championship division, now back in the English Premier League. With what Marcelo Bielsa is doing with the team, are they really back to stay?
Yeah, there's no chance of going down this season. The thing that Leeds United will bring to the Premier League is a no fear mentality. They play such aggressive football. We don't stop for any team. You've seen us against Liverpool. Liverpool was shocked. Klopp was shocked. He couldn't believe that a team had come to Anfield and had more possession than his team. Doesn't happen. But Bielsa has set us up in such a way that he doesn't change the way he plays for any side. We play Man City in a couple of weeks, and the danger is that they will put 6 past us, but we might put 7 past them. We will attack every team that we play with that gung-ho mentality. But the thing is that Leeds are a fantastic side to watch. We took the championship by storm last year. We were by far the best team, deserved to go up. And it's so good to see us back in the Premier League because we're such a massive club. And now with a manager that has brought just a style and verve to Leeds that is different to anything we've ever seen. And it's really exciting times.
Really exciting, to watch. But then, you guys have scored 7 goals and also conceded 7. I mean, that's a bit of worry, knowing that the defensive line is really shaky.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, to concede 4 goals at Anfield I don't think there's any shame in that. But the 3 goals conceded against Fulham. Yeah.
Okay.
Say again.
Now, I'm talking about the one against Fulham. You considered 3 against Fulham, so that's still a little bit of worry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think going forward, there's no issue. I mean, with the top scorers so far in the league. But, I mean, yeah, defensively, it is slightly worrying. But I think when you've got a manager like Bielsa, you can trust him. If something's going wrong, he will fix it. It will be fixed within a couple of weeks. And obviously, it's just getting used to the Premier League. It's a totally different league. Totally different teams, and as I said before, a totally different kind of way of life for these players. We've just brought in Robin Koch into the centre back, and he's just learning his trade with Cooper. Few silly mistakes like the penalty that was given away shouldn't have slid in, but again, given time, this Leeds United club and side will be a machine in the Premier League. Mark my words.
Okay, we must say thank you so much, Paul Wilson, for your time with us. And I can see that you're buzzing with confidence. Now, all the best to Leeds United. And it'll be good to have them stay in the English Premier League.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. So that's it, Cecilia, Leeds United. Yeah, and he made a point because Jurgen Klopp would have been wowed. Like, these guys come to Anfield and are playing like this, getting more possession, and they scored beautiful goals also.
Yeah, I mean, how do you do that? Scoring 3 against Liverpool, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
And the worry, that's why I had to ask him the question. You guys can really score goals. You can also concede goals. So it simply means you need to score more. Yeah. And Sheffield is next. After Sheffield, they mentioned it, then you have Manchester City. And Manchester City can score goals.
And he said Manchester City might be thinking they'll score 6, but they can score 7.
No, so. Really, Manchester City can score 7.
So that's
but the Manchester City defensive line is also a little bit of worry. But Sheffield United, they know how to lock shop when they can.
Okay, so let's go back to that Chelsea-Liverpool at the coaches responding.
Yeah, the reaction, coming from, Jurgen Klopp was obviously delighted because when Frank Lampard had to rule the mistakes that they made that cost them the game. Yeah, a whole lot to look forward to because some of his stars are still not started playing. Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, and of course Hakim Ziyech, they've not started playing. Hopefully when they come back, Chelsea should be able to bounce back. So it's too early
for Chelsea
to start
fans
writing them off.
Start
okay,
smiling.
60 seconds to go. Okay, Austin, what do we do? Papers, Sporting Life, we'll just take one, then you read some tweets. Okay. Quickly, Sporting Life, you have Osimhen begs mates to keep the momentum. I mean, they won 2-0, and he literally won the man of the match because he was at the centre of most of the goals.
Cecilia, Manchester United fans are not smiling this morning. And see Elisha, after that loss to Crystal Palace, says, Man U should sack that coach because he has not shown capacity that he can handle the team.
Right, so Ed Woodward.
Let's see.
Okay, all right. We got to leave the studio now?
Yes, that's
right.
All
right, thank you guys for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a good day.
Okay, that's the show for the team. I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.